Hello and welcome everybody, my name is Shane Comley-White and you're with me at Rocking at the Movies, and today we are going into episode 3 of season 1 Highlander TV series.
I'm Duncan MacLeod of the clan MacLeod, born 400 years ago in the... well, no, not really. That was a TV show called Highlander. So, just listen to Rocking at the Movies with me, Adrian Paul and Shane Comley-White, and you'll learn some interesting facts.
Right, in today's episode, which is called The Road Not Taken, we're going to be going into a little bit of a breakdown of multiple different characters, because there's going to be 3 different people who are affected by this particular episode, or in this particular episode. So it starts off with one of Richie's friends, who you see him going into a bank, which is one of those old tellers behind a typical glass window door kind of thing, and he rips this door off, and he then steals whatever he can steal from there, and whether it be a diamond shop or a bank, it's not 100% clear in the beginning, and you get to see what's going on afterwards. But then all of a sudden he has a little bit of a breakdown. He has a massive headache or an aneurysm that actually starts happening in his head, and he collapses in the middle of the street. The thing that I found funny about that, not that itself, were the police. When the police rocked up on the edge of the pavement there, the stance that they had, kneeling down on one knee and pulling out these revolvers, and it was actually so funny just to watch how the movement was. We are definitely way past that kind of movement when it comes to the police in nowadays time. I think it's a lot more, how can I say, scary. Back then it was quite comical. It reminds me of things like Police Academy and all of those older movies, which were fantastic. All right, so going back to it, Richie's friend does pass away, and that's how the episode starts. So Richie and Duncan go on a mission to find out what had happened. And Richie was told by Duncan, don't do anything, because Duncan realized or remembered the markings that were on the body that reminded him of a time back in the Chinese imperial age of a friend that he used to know. And this guy that he knew, which was Kiem Sun, he was born many, many, many years ago. His first death was about 1276. So we're going to be going into that in the second video, so I'm not going to give you too much detail about him. But the whole idea of this episode was a little bit of investigation and revenge, and they found out that there was another individual that was involved in the issues that happened with this, and his name was Chu Lin. Now, he was mortal. He wasn't an immortal, but he was just a greedy, hungry guy that was part of this temple that Kiem Sun was part of or headed up, and they wanted to just make something fantastic for the human race, using natural herbs and spices and all the alchemy that they used to go through back in those days for the medicine creation. And he wanted to come up with an invention that could make humans super strong and powerful and very obedient in the hopes of actually ending the war, or wars, full stop. So Kiem Sun had his mission, but it got twisted. And then if you start realizing why that actually happened, I'll explain it more in the second video at the end of this week, but it's mainly about his own self-preservation. So we'll get into that a little bit later. However, Chu Lin decided he doesn't want to live in poverty anymore and in almost like a monk in a monastery and stay hidden from the world. He wants to make his fortune. He wants to get money. He wants to become rich. And so he stole this antidote, or this tea or herbs that was created and perfected, or hopefully perfected, over many, many years. Unfortunately, it wasn't perfected. It causes damage. It kills the people. And that is why Duncan went on a little bit of a hunt to see who was behind all of this. And it turns out that it was his friend that he knew from many, many, many years ago, which was Kiem Sun. So the whole story revolves around that. And obviously, the one thing that always stands out when it comes to Duncan, and you're going to hear me say this all the time, is his honor. His honor and his promise. If he promises something, he stands by it. And he's honorable. He'll always do what is right, or what he believes is the right thing to do. and he'll also always try to protect those around him, his friends and his family, in the best possible way that he can. But, you know, I'm going to ask a question at the end of this video, and I'd like your comments on that as well. You can just drop them down in the comment box below. So it turns out that Duncan realizes that it is his friend, and then there's a little bit of a battle that happens, and a warning comes from Duncan itself again. So I'm going to encourage you to go watch this, because this one goes back in time a little bit, and it's quite interesting to see how they do actually go back. And when I had the interview with Duncan, he says the first season, they really didn't have a lot of, how can I say, flashbacks or going back in the different periods or period pieces that he was talking about, just because of budgets. But throughout the rest of the seasons, you'll notice that it becomes more and more and more evident that there's a lot more budget and a lot more flashbacks and a lot more historical dealings of what had happened in different eras. So this was one of the starts, and it's quite interesting to see how they started to grow and improve throughout the different episodes and different series. So before I do end off, the question is, do you believe that the honor and discipline that Duncan has is something that we as this era should still strive to have? I believe so. I believe we are lacking that. People nowadays don't have this respect, have this discipline, and have this drive to do something right. It's gone. You know, I think it's missing, and it's quite sad. What are your thoughts? Do you think that we should strive to get back to that kind of mentality, that kind of level of respect and discipline? Tell me your thoughts. All right, everybody, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, bye.